Okay, perfect. Got it recorded for you. So let me first start out with saying I don't know if I ever really got the exact way of how you guys did title and register your customers from out of state. What is your current process?
Well, we mostly we look Google how they do it. We'll
Okay.
call a lot of counties. We just try and figure it out ourselves. You know,
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, definitely
make
what
close.
a lot of our customers, our clients do. So yeah, the main thing we alleviate is just taking that extra time to call the DMVs, call the tax assessors, whoever you need to call, and really eliminate the time you're having to go on and search for fees, because we know there are maybe, I don't know if you guys have experienced it, but some of our dealers have been given inaccurate fees, or just the
Okay.
calculations have been inaccurate or so on. And a deal's been kicked back, just kind of pushing the timeline to an extent that you don't want it to be pushed to. So this is really what this program alleviates for you guys. So
Okay.
I'll go in and show you how to run an out-of-state deal. Works for all 50 states. And as we just kind of mentioned, we'll run through a Louisiana one for you.
Okay.
So you're first just going to click on the nationwide auto titling here. It's going to bring you to this screen. Just some common questions, a training catalog with the videos covering each part. And then up here, you're going to see the help desk email and the customer service number. So if you did have any questions, obviously the email is going to be available 24/7, and the help desk is going to be available, I believe, from 8 to 5 daily.
Okay.
And so what we're going to do is hit a start a new deal, typically what you'd be selecting there. And it's going to bring you a map of the United States. So
Okay.
first, what we're going to do here is we're going to select the state that we're going to title into. So we can go ahead and click Louisiana. From there, you click your dealership. So obviously you guys would be pre-populated in here. So ours is just going to be called Title Tech for the sake of the demo, and we are hypothetically located in Florida as well.
Okay.
So it's obviously going to be a title and registration. And then this is where the integration comes in. You use DealerTrack, correct?
Right.
Okay, so you're going to be able to pull the deal number over, just really populating you're going to be able to populate everything into the deal as far as insurance information goes, customer information, the full gamut. But of course, I don't use a DMS. So what I would just show you here is you be able to click load deal, and it's going to say, oh, you're not using a DMS or whatever below. But that's what you would do theoretically here.
Okay.
So then what we're going to do is just purchase date, choose whenever that is. We're going to input a VIN. So that would be able to pull over, but for our sake here, I do have a preloaded VIN just to show you what is going to go into that. Later, you'll just be able to see some populated information. So we're just going to use that VIN. We're going to hit load vehicle. Already put in a passenger vehicle here. And then as far as purchase type goes, do you have any preference you'd like to see, cash or finance? We typically do finance because there's an extra page for you, but did you want to
Sure.
see cash? Okay.
Fine.
Asks you for a plate transfer. And then you have two options here, either the full deal or fee calculation only, or we'll just run a full deal so you can see both sides of the fee calculation and the forms.
Okay.
So we're going to hit full deal, and as you can see here, there's some notices. So there's a transfer restriction in Louisiana and trade-in allowance. So just really gives you those key points before moving forward in the Louisiana deal. And this is state specific. Every state's going to have something a little bit different here.
Okay.
Then a cool feature you could see that there are previous deals using the using the VIN. So that's just kind of something, that's why we just kind of continuously show that same VIN just so you can hop in there and be like, oh, hey, I was working on this deal. The customer said hold off for a couple days. You could go back in there and load the deal once again with all the information pre-populated in there to edit and rerun those calculations as many times as you need.
Mm.
So what we'll do is we'll just go and create a new deal since it's going to be Louisiana. And it's going to start loading into the first of a couple pages that we need to fill out some information for. Here, it's going to show some basic owner information. So what I'll do is I'll just plug some of my information into here.
Mm-hmm.
You do have the ability to add a co-owner as well.
Okay.
The one thing I will point out, though, is as you can see, there is some spots that are in red, and those are required to fill out. So those
Yeah.
are necessary to print the forms at the end. You don't have to fill out everything else, but we do suggest filling out as much as possible, just so as much as that you filled on the front is going to be pre-populated into the DMV forms at the end.
Okay.
And what we'll go to next is the mailing, just the address of the customer. For the sake of this, what I'll do here is I'm just going to plug in New Orleans address I have pulled up on the side here. Okay. So then we can hit next, just some basic owner information.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get to the vehicle. So here is vehicle information, has the VIN that we loaded into the front. Select status, going to be used. You can load in the title number on there as well. Previous title state, of course, that could be anywhere. Just act like it could be Missouri. Going to give you some additional vehicle information. Has some of it loaded into here. You could choose if it's private or commercial too. Color, you could do really anything. Weight, odometer, and then it looks like Louisiana asks for the original MSRP. So what we can do is I can just do a quick Google search and should be able to find that. 2010 Ford Edge MSRP. Okay, so it gave the. I'll tell you real quick what I had pulled up. It just gave the MSRP here, so we can just plug that number in right there, the 27,420. Okay, and then that's pretty much it for the vehicle information here.
Okay.
Hit next, we're going to go to trade-in information. So this is where you guys would be able to input the trade-in. So pretty similar, of course, to the last page. Just by putting the VIN number in, it would load, add most of the information here. You can, of course, enter the information that wouldn't be loaded, odometer, weight, and then there's the trade-in lien holder information you could edit as well. We do allow for 4 trade-ins here. If there is some rare case that a customer had more, you can of course contact us and we can manually input that information. But that's pretty unheard of. So we do even allow up to 4 for you.
Yeah.
We can go to next, and we're going to get to the purchase information. So this page is pretty important. It's important for the fact that you don't guess or estimate on any of these charges because it does affect the fee calculation. So one thing I will tell you is that we guarantee our fees are correct. So if for some reason the state rejects a check and it's on us, we do reimburse your dealership as well.
Okay.
But if you don't have any feed input into the field, we just ask that you do put in a 0 because it does
Okay.
work like a calculator.
Okay.
So here we can put a sales price in. And do you guys ship your vehicles to out-of-state customers, or do you have them pick them up?
It depends. Sometimes we'll ship, sometimes we won't. It just depends.
Okay, gotcha. I'll just
Done it. Well, I mean, we've done it different, both ways.
okay, perfect. So yeah, it does give you the ability to decide, or the circumstance depending on whether you are shipping the vehicle or not. I'll just put we are
Okay.
just to put in some shipping charges here,
Okay.
and then I'll plug in some other numbers too that you can just see what it would look like on the end. But it's
Okay.
just some taxable amounts that you can put in here. Just plug in any number that is necessary. And this, the only form that does not need to be filled out is called the NAT processing fee. So this portion is where you're going to be able to charge back the customer. So for this program, it's subscription based. So this is where we allow you to charge back your customer. The subscription for NAT
Oh,
is $90 per month.
right.
So what we're doing here is instead of like incurring a cost, you're going to be able to charge back the customer. So a subscription's $90 a month, and then we do have a $90.98 flat transactional fee. So that's where you are getting the forms and the fees. By calculating those, it's $90.98 for the transaction. So here, what most of our dealers do is this is where they're going to upcharge the customer by providing them the service of titling and registering the vehicle. Because in all reality, you don't have to do that for the dealer or for the customer, of course. You're providing them a service, and you're also ridding the dealership of liability as well. So what we're going to do is plug in a number. You could eliminate the transactional cost here just by canceling it out. Or like I mentioned, you could upcharge to make your money back and more. So
So is it
if you're
a $90 fee per transaction, or is it
so
like per month, or?
so per month it's $90 for the service, and then per transaction it's $90.98. So
I
and I can get this all into writing to you, of course, after as well. But
okay.
so I'll be able to visualize it. But yeah, so that this is where we allow you to cancel out the charges essentially. So that's why it's always good if you're doing at least I know you said it's about 10 to 12 per month is what I'm pretty sure. Um, so we like to say if you're doing at least a couple per month, it would be a worthwhile program to have just so you can upcharge the customer on completing the registration and the title work for them without them having to go into the DMV, without having them to register the vehicle themselves after they purchase it in their home state.
Okay. Now we also, like, when we're doing the deal, we have a admin fee.
Mhm.
Does that uh, mess with that fee or anything like that?
So
You know,
what does your admin fee consist of?
paperwork, and I mean it's like a $289 fee, or
And is
what, or
that
189. I don't know. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head what it is right now, but
okay?
it it's fluctuated over the years. It's went up and down.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we call it the fee for doing the paperwork and everything. The Yeah.
Okay. So
So
yeah, you guys, you would get to decide how you want to do that, since this would be doing the, I guess, essentially the paperwork for the customer. I mean,
uh-huh.
you could charge 298 or 198. You could sub the admin fee for the NAT processing fee. You could charge nothing for the NAT processing fee, or you could
Uh-huh.
just, I mean, it really is up to you since it is a variable number. So
Uh-huh.
it, so, yeah, like I guess it would be just kind of a discussion amongst the dealership if you guys did want to add on an additional NAT processing fee, or if you did want to just say, hey, we'll just waive this since we already do have the admin fee for the customer. But
Okay. Okay.
You can include it as a separate line item too if you did want to include both.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yes, ma'am. We'll just continue on there. And did you have any other questions about this page as well? Any other specifics you want me to elaborate more on?
The accessories, dealer add-ons, that would just be something else that we added on. Oh,
Yes.
something else that we added onto the vehicle. Okay.
So yeah, all of them do have a little, I guess, a brief description, I believe, or more so they do. If it's
Yeah.
not, I guess.
Yeah.
But it is
Yeah.
different from state to state too. Some states I've hardly seen any taxable amounts that you can enter, and then others like
Right.
Louisiana has a little bit more than usual.
Yeah.
But it does differ from state to state here.
Okay.
But
All right.
I will go on to the next page, the lien holder. So this is that additional page I was referring to at the beginning. Obviously differs from a cash to a finance deal. So here
Right.
we can just put in Westlake. You don't need the FEIN or the lien holder code
Okay.
to complete the deal or move forward. You could just plug in the lien holder there. You can add another
Uh-huh.
lien holder as well. And then here's going to be the address too, which of course you don't
Okay.
need as well to enter.
Okay.
So what we can do, just go ahead and hit next. Now we're going to go to the registration information. So this page is also going to vary per state. So this is what we did mention briefly. I guess the registration parish, of course, since it's Louisiana.
Right.
Let me make sure that's right though. That New Orleans is in Orleans Parish. Okay, yes, it is. So perfect. There we go. And it's going to be New Orleans. City limits just more so if you're registering in a rural county, a rural city. But it's always pretty much going to be in the city limit here.
Okay.
And then we get to the insurance information. So yeah, just a quick blurb there that Louisiana requires a customer to provide insurance information, of course. So this would be pulled over from the DMS integration. Otherwise, you're just going to input the information here.
Okay.
Did something pretty beneficial that we do provide here is we do partner with private tag agencies in every state in the case that your customer would like their registration process to be faster. So private tag agencies do have a little bit more of an incentive to get the paperwork processed, even in sometimes it's 2 business days. So they can be quicker. What we have here is if you choose private tag agency, you can alert the customer that, hey, we can get this done for you pretty quickly within a couple days. It is going to cost a bit more for you though. So it's just up to them.
Okay.
For Louisiana, I guess in New Orleans, this one is close to the customer, that where the customer is hypothetically located. It's just going to be an extra $45 to go through the private tag agency.
Okay.
We also provide the option. There is a 50-state DMV. It's another private tag agency located in Mexico. That one, it is $164 across the board. I guess sometimes if there isn't a private tag agency located close to the customer, that one is offered. But for the most part, there is going to be one relatively close to where the customer is located.
Okay.
If the customer is just like, no, I don't want to pay an extra fee. I'm just good with waiting for everything to be completed in the usual manner. We could just do the DMV, and it's going to
Yeah.
provide you the DMV here. So there it
Okay.
is, it's Veterans OV, and it gives you the address as well.
Okay.
So then we're going to go ahead and calculate fees. So that button hitting calculate fees is where you do get charged half of the amount. I referenced that $90.98. That's broken into the fees, calculating the fees and processing the forms. So up until now, you haven't you haven't spent anything, but it is $34.99 to calculate the fees. So it's about a third of that $90.98 amount. So here is a line-by-line breakdown of our fee calculation. The two things that you need to pay attention to most, I'd say, are going to be the total taxable amount to the state, Louisiana taxable amount there, and then the total amount to collect from the customer.
Okay.
So see here, there's the tax, title, and registration fees due to Louisiana, adds it up there to $1708.65. And then there's the processing fee I mentioned. So you are being able to upcharge a little bit, make some money back that we plugged in the 158.
Okay. Yeah.
Adds up to that total there. So then something I do want to point out, don't want to be confusing at all though, but our state that we are hypothetically located in is Florida. So they do have a reciprocity tax. So sometimes you would see, we've done other demonstrations before where it has been an amount here because there's a tax amount owed to Florida by Georgia or something like that. But there's no reciprocity in Louisiana. So just cancels out there.
Okay.
But then it's just a breakdown of some of the charges, the plate, lien fee, title fee, handling fee, whatnot there. Just a line-by-line breakdown to make it easier. Gives you some of those notices then again here. So there's after 40 days, there's the payments. You're going to be charged at a higher rate, registration credit, safety inspection, trade-in allowance.
Okay.
So do you have any questions for me about this fee calculation page?
No, I mean, I think I get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
okay. Then what do you do?
So then it's going to get to the forms. So what I'll show you here is this is where that second portion of the $90.98 comes out. I believe it's $55.99.
Okay.
Yeah, to get the forms. So you could just get the fees if you wanted to. You could just get the forms, I believe, but that's why I ran the full deal so you could see both. So yeah, like you could just go and print the fees and say, hey, I'm done now. I just needed the fees. But what we'll do is go and hit the forms. And so a cool thing that we do offer is a checklist, which you'll see shortly. But this first page, and are you able to see this all right, or do you want me to zoom in a little bit?
No, I can see it.
Okay. So it's just saying, hey, this is a quick notice. Please read the following and carefully, pay close attention to check payable too.
Okay.
Next page we're going to get to is the checklist. So this does help a lot just by getting everything in order, knowing you have all the correct paperwork to send out to the DMV. So you are able to go and edit the checklist as well. So saying, hey, I got the application for the certificate of title, this, that, and you'd be able to go down and make sure you have everything. So something to take note of as well is that there is sometimes, I guess not in Louisiana, but other states, I do see highlights in red. So we do run a lot of New York deals for a lot of our clients, and it will be like, this is a step that's consistently missed, or that the DMV sends the paperwork back for. So it's dependent on state to state. New Orleans doesn't look like it has any, might not be as strict as some other DMVs, but there are sometimes when you go and do a deal, there is going to be some highlighted portions in red, just marking that the DMV is sending back the paperwork for or rejecting the paperwork.
Okay.
So we're going to go down here, and then you're just going to see some forms that you've probably seen, relatively frequently. This is the title transfer from out of state. Gives you, if you're mailing to the PTA, that'd be the PTA, the private tax agency. If you're not mailing to the PTA, then you're going to make the check payable to the Louisiana Department of Public Safety, the DMV there, or the DPS, I guess, and provides you the mailing information as well. So exactly how you're going to be able to put the information on the paperwork to get it sent out. We do provide a phone number as well. Obviously, we want you not to call the DMV. If the case is you need to call for an update or anything like that, we do provide you the phone number here.
Okay.
This information is going to be populated for you guys for the dealership. Contact info number, email, some basic things there. Going to get to the license plate destination form. So if you are shipping it, you could put the owner in there, plug in their information below. It would pull over as well with the integration with the DMS. Dealership, you can plug in the dealership information.
Okay.
Provide some shipping options below, just a simple return label with address, FedEx, post office. Next, we're going to get to some of the state-specific forms here at this Louisiana Department of Public Safety and Corrections Office. So a lot of the information has already been pulled on over. As you can see, the VIN, name of owner. So the information that is pulled over is the required information. So that was the information in red. As you can see, the other information that's not filled out isn't necessarily required, but you can fill it out.
Right.
What is required, though, is going to be here. So what we do is we're going to highlight everything in yellow that requires a wet signature. So it's going to require the applicant to actually sign the dotted line here. So I will say a lot of times this process is best done at the bill of sale. So when you are getting all the paperwork handled, when the customer is in the dealership, if they are, that you just print everything out, say, hey, you have to sign here, then we'll send it off to the DMV for you. If they do happen to purchase online, do everything online, not at the dealership, you can, of course, ship this to them. Or some states do require like a DocuSign, or there are some other forms of e-signature that can be done as well.
Okay. Yeah, we have FedEx forms before to customers and had them sign, but we don't normally FedEx like the title to customers. That's the only thing that usually requires like the wet signature, and so that's kind of like been the issue sometimes with these things. The title doesn't get signed usually.
So here, I guess you would be able to just send out one page if need be. But I guess just really however you want to do it. So you said you FedEx in the past to get the wet signature before?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but we don't normally do that with the title. We'll send copies, and have them sign copies of the title, but not the actual title. We usually, in the case, will send everything to the county and have them with a note saying that the customer still needs to come in and sign their title. We've done that before too.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so you won't be sending the title with this. So
no.
So it could just be kind of a similar manner of getting that done. So and some states don't even require a wet signature too. So you'll be able to see what states do and what states don't. And some states require multiple. So I mean, maybe Louisiana does, but obviously not 100% sure. But yeah, it is very state dependent, I guess, on what's required as far as the signatures go. And I know some states like Georgia, everything is electronic there. So they probably don't. So I guess it's really just dependent. But more forms that you'd probably be familiar with here is just another breakdown of what all we did earlier with the transaction information, vehicle info, purchase information, and it does have you submit this page with the paperwork to the DMV or the private tag agency you're using.
Okay.
Another state-specific form here. Oh yeah, Louisiana does require that signature there too.
Okay.
Finally, another state-specific form. And that's that.
Okay.
So that is the nationwide auto titling program for you. I did just want to ask a few things for you. I mean, did you think that this program could potentially help you guys out just by speeding up the process, finding the accurate fees and whatnot for you?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Okay, perfect.
You know, yeah, it's
Perfect.
possible. Are you with Identifix?
Oh, so you guys
It
know of Identifix?
says, well, we have Identifix in our service department. Yes.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So Solera owns Identifix, Dealer Socket, Title Tech, but I actually was with Identifix too for about 2 years.
Okay.
So I'm
Ah.
very familiar with that program actually.
Okay.
But
Yeah, 'cause I see it up there. It just says, it says by McGee Austin Identifix is in parentheses, and so I was like, I recognize that, and yeah.
yeah, they never changed my name once I switched over to this program. They still had me with Identifix, funny enough. But yeah, yeah, Solera does own Identifix as well, and then Dealer Socket. If you've heard of Dealer Socket, they have like a lot of dealership solutions there. But as far as Title Tech goes, we do integrate with most DMS providers, DealerCheck included, just to make the process a little bit easier as far as implementing the data from one platform to another.
Yeah. Yeah, just have to, I guess, sell it to everyone else here. I mean, I just have to make sure that that's something that everyone else here is interested in doing. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's possible that we would be